On September 8th, 2022, the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth II, died. But why would she do that? That doesn't really make much logical sense. She was in such a high position of power. That was just a dumb move on her part. So, that begs to explain, why would she do that? There must be something deeper here we're not seeing.
Now, obviously, as we know, British people aren't really human. They have some kind of other gene that's altered them in a state to make them subhuman.
Alien? Maybe from the Hollow Earth, maybe? There's a number of theories.
That's true, or from the cheese moon.
Perhaps, yes. Perhaps they're branched off evolutions from Sasquatches, perhaps. That would make sense. That's why their teeth are so deteriorated and their flesh is so melded into deformed forms.
And their voice and their vocal patterns are so distorted and messed up.
If you look at any single video of a British person ever, and they try and do an American accent, they can just shut it off instantly or whatever. They can just turn it off. It's like they're faking it. They're trying to make themselves seem like they have a rich history. It's like, oh, we have our own accent and everything. But no, they're lying. They're actually just lying straight to our faces. And the Queen is at the center of all of it.
And we know because when British singers sing, they sound American. They have a regular accent.
There's no difference. It's their vocodes or whatever. They can't they can't sync it up with the British accent and singing. It neutralizes it out. And no one has opened their eyes to see what's really happening. They're pulling the wool over our eyes right now, and we are too blind to see the truth.
Exactly. And I wonder what kind of draconian mandates the new King of England, the so-called
King of England. I'm just saying, shouldn't the next...
Are you supposed to believe in 10 years that he'll die? Because that seems kind of suspicious.
I'm just saying, shouldn't the next ruler have been called Queen Elizabeth III? Because it's the next one?
Exactly.
What is the deal with switching it up like this? That doesn't make sense.
It seems there's something going on with the Illuminati.
Exactly, precisely. So that brings me to the start of this theory that I'd like to propose, where Queen Elizabeth II is majorly involved in the Illuminati and is joined with many other famous icons of history like Walt Disney and George Washington, and they're on a council, and they found the secret to immortality, and that's why they're...
I agree, and I'd like to bring up proof of this with the video Queen Elizabeth meets Paddington. That proves that she met with Paddington, who's also on the council.
Yes, Paddington is a known Illuminati member.
This was merely months before the Queen's death, so we know something happened. I personally think Paddington killed the Queen so that he could harvest her power,
life essence, yes.
Her life force.
That does make sense. Or another option is that Paddington, the meetup, if you decipher the words they're saying, it's actually a completely different conversation that they're having about the events of the current world and what their next step is in their big plan. And I think that they were discussing a way for Queen Elizabeth to fake her own death so that she could be a permanent council resident instead of needing to put up the facade of being a monarch.
Exactly. I definitely agree with that.
Paddington being real is a whole separate other thing. I've theorized before Paddington could be a result of genetic mutation, or that we always go back to.
And we know he originates from Peru, which is a known Hollow Earth entrance.
Hollow Earth entrance, Peru. Suddenly this creature, this being that looks to be some sort of deformed bear that talks? It doesn't. What is
Exactly.
What is?
And it doesn't make sense that he has a British accent even coming from Peru.
No.
So we know that there's something up there.
Yeah, it's because the British accent is really just it's all fake. It's all a way to. I think everyone whenever they talk in a British accent, they're doing double speak, you know, classic, like the accent. It's like you can tell what they're actually truly saying through like the inflections of the accent, and that says a whole different sentence from what they're actually saying in spoken language.
Yeah, definitely, and it's supposed to signal to other British people that they're in on it.
Now, what's your opinion on British hive mind theory, that the Queen controls every single individual British person, and that there's only one person in Britain, and it's the Queen? And
I
the rest are slaves.
100% believe that.
That just makes sense.
Makes sense
right?
to me.
It's all a setup to appear to be a strong, independent.
And the Queen's just the first level of it, because it's the life force of the British citizens going into her, and then that life force goes into the Illuminati as a whole.
Exactly. It's a whole system passed down from person to person to generate this life force energy, and that's what the Illuminati's goal is. It's to obtain the life force energy of the inhabitants of the earth, and we just let them. We are fools. Fools are we for just letting them steal our life force with their COVID vaccines. They're sucking out the life.
That's
out of
why we
our
needed our freedom
veins.
from Britain. It wasn't because of taxes or anything. It was because they were stealing our life force, and George Washington could tell.
George Washington saw, but now, George Washington's wishes are thrown out the window. George Washington successfully infiltrated the Illuminati, and he tried to reform it into something that could be used for the good of humanity, but no, he got found out, and yeah, that didn't go so well for him. That's a shame. That's a big shame.
So I think we have to bring up the alternate theory now, and that is that the Queen isn't dead and it's just in hiding, which is another very popular one.
The alternate theory to that, it's literally just she is just somewhere. She's just somewhere out there, and she is just she's just sitting in a cave, like
exactly,
like
feasting.
Yeah, feasting on orphan flesh, maybe. That's often a big one, a big talking.
Yeah, at the pizza shop in Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly, the Hollywood pizza shop, exactly.
So, do you think that the hive mind has transferred to the king, or is it still with the Queen?
I think it's still
she's
with
alive.
the king. Not the king. I'm sorry. I think it's still with the Queen. I think the king right now is just a figurehead for the rest of the world.
Yeah.
So that like people think that there's still some sort of like.
I personally think they faked her death because it would have been too unrealistic if she had survived longer than she had.
Yeah. So
they had to put a figurehead in place.
Like, how old is she? Like 94? So they say. There have been records of her living
96 apparently.
Well past 200 is what I think the actual time allotted is. But if we were to compare 96, like, it's not quite 100. 100, you're getting ridiculous right there, okay? You gotta calm down.
Yep.
They knew that. They're smart, all right? I'll give them credit where it's due. They know what they're doing. They quote unquote killed her off right as the barrier of 100 was just on the horizon. They cut the cord.
Yeah, exactly.
The question is, do you think that President of the United States, Joseph Biden, do you think he is involved directly with the Illuminati and is working with the Queen in order to suck life force, or is it someone
100%.
else that we don't know?
I think there's two competing factions. I think we have the QAnon faction versus the Illuminati.
That makes sense. That just
the
makes
QAnon
sense.
faction is led by JFK Jr., who's still alive.
Who's still alive? Yeah. And that just really makes sense. That that just makes a lot of sense to me. The pieces, they fit together. They just really do. You know, if you take the British national anthem and you play it backwards underwater, and then you drink tea underwater, you actually begin to hear the translated encoded message, and that is the hive mind wavelength that connects all of them. You can actually hear words in that. Trust me, I tried that when I was allowed in the public pools before I was banned unrighteously.
Exactly.
By the Orwellian government we live in.
Yeah, that's why we have to live on the streets too, is because they can't handle if we had an actual house, because then we'd be able to communicate even better, or a car. Not that I'd ever even use cars, because they're just transformers controlled by the government.
Exactly, not the cool transformers, like the
bad ones.
The bad ones, yeah, they kill you.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of a poor move on their part to have transformers and then not have them be cool. That's just like, I would have been more on board with the whole thing, but they really missed their opportunity right there. They really dropped the ball on that one.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Do you think Queen Elizabeth II is a transformer?
I mean, we do have proof in the movie Cars 2 that she has been depicted as a car before, so
yeah.
I'm
gonna
say yes.
And as we discussed before, many pieces of media out there in popular culture are actually subconscious reflections of reality that are trying to leak through people's creative works, and so that's good evidence. That's actually good evidence. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. Cars 2, I think, as a whole, is just a brilliant pastiche of the British monarchy and government.
I wasn't really talking.
As a whole.
I wasn't really talking about Cars 2 though. I was more talking about like the Have you seen the leaked video of Queen Elizabeth II transforming into a fighter jet and then killing 13 people?
Yeah, the Ghost of Kiev.
Yeah, the Ghost of Kiev. Yeah, that's a strange one. I don't know why more people haven't seen that, but
and they tried to deflect and say it was like footage from a video game or something like that. That doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make
Video
sense.
games don't look that good.
I've played on the Nintendo 64 before, and if anything is better than that, that doesn't make sense. You can't get better than good old N64. You know, man.
So, do we even think Britain is like real as a whole, or do we think it's just an elaborate illusion on our TV screens? How do we know that these people that live there are even real?
I believe that the quote-unquote British people individually like are real, but they're just kept in like little tubes.
Pens and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. They're kept. The entirety of Britain is just one big box, and it's filled with a bunch of people. And sometimes they take out those people to film things for our televisions to pretend that there is an actual Britain.
Mm-hmm.
And then they put them back in the tubes for life force extraction.
That makes sense.
It's really cruel, I think, personally. I don't understand. That's gotta be some sort of rights violation. I'm just legally. I'm just saying. I'm just ethically, it's whatever, man. Who cares? But I just feel like we should be taking action right now. Come on. But of course, the United States would never betray Britain again, because... And
another, more proof about Biden being in the Illuminati is that we were so against Britain for so long, and then suddenly we're all goody-goody with them.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. There has to be something here that is greater than the forces of hating Britain, which should not be possible. And yet, there is, clearly. So, the Illuminati is always at the center of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's the only logical thing.
We're making good headway here. We're revealing the secrets of Britain's lies to the world and their heresy against everything. In a similar vein, how many actual countries do you think are real and are not just boxes filled with people in tubes?
think maybe Croatia is real.
That makes sense. That makes sense. That's good. Yeah, they're good. I think everyone else though is probably not. I'm not even.
Yeah.
I could be in a tube right now.
I think we might be in a tube.
We might be in it. That would explain a lot actually. Yeah, that makes sense. Looks like we're already in the system. That's unfortunate. I thought we would have escaped, but I thought we would have taken the red pill by now and escaped the simulation. But that's a real.
Or maybe
shame.
there's just infinite layers of simulation.
Hopefully, those heroes in Croatia can come and rescue everyone.
Exactly.
From
Yeah.
enslavement. Yeah.
And I'm just saying the Croatian flag is red, white, and blue. So it's like, wonder where America got the idea for that.
Yeah. I wonder. It's such what a weird coincidence. But there's no such thing as coincidence. That's what I always say.
Exactly.
No such thing. So recently, I was looking up at the night sky past the bridge, and past all the light pollution and fog. I could make out several stars that, like, when you looked at it, kind of looked like the Queen of England's right hand. And I'm just saying, what if the Queen of England has discovered, like, she has absorbed so much life force that she has ascended to beyond the cosmos?
Yeah, I could see that she doesn't even need a body anymore.
Yeah, she doesn't need. She is among space.
Among us, you could say.
You could
In
say
space.
that the Queen of England is among us. You could say that, yes, in space.
Yeah.
That's a thing you could definitely say, and there would be no problem with saying that. It's a very normal thing to say.
I also do think that drinking tea, kind of like extracts your life force, because we know that that's the most British drink.
The most
So
British,
it's-
but why is it the most British drink? This is where I propose that tea leaves are actually just the scalps of British people.
Yeah, makes sense.
Torn off, put into.
Why do you think all of the Americans, when we were free from them, we threw the tea into the
dumped
river?
it.
It wasn't because of taxation. That's just a cover up. It was because we didn't want to be controlled by
We didn't
them
want the mind
and drink
control. Yeah.
drink scalp.
Drink scalp water. You know,
Exactly.
no one wants to drink scalp water. That's just everyone knows this. All right. So, do you think that it's possible that now that the Queen has disappeared, the Queen has vanished, do you think that the Illuminati will be recruiting another member? And if so, who do you think the next major member of the Illuminati is going to be?
Ooh, the next major member of the Illuminati.
I propose Jared Leto is the next one. He's next in line.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
His hit art piece Morbius really screamed, "I am a member of the Illuminati." I'm just saying that makes a lot of sense to me.
Which would then prove Michael Keaton is also part of the Illuminati.
If you take,
I mean, they said they wanted to put together a team at the end. Like
That's
that's
it, yes,
like,
exactly.
That kind of reminds me of the Illuminati.
That kind of again, the subconscious goes into the media, and then you can't. It's just the natural way of the world. All right, you can't stop these things from leaking. All right, and I'm just saying. Here's something that's gonna blow your mind. All right, take Morbius, and then take out a couple of letters, and then add some more letters, and you get Illuminati. I know.
Whoa.
I know. You really have
I never thought of it
you have
that
to
way.
soak it in. You have to really soak it in for a second.
Exactly.
Get it, and then you really.
My
really
brain, I
just
can
get it.
feel my brain like growing in my head and my skull
You gotta
bursting
be
at the
careful.
seams.
You gotta be careful. about
Exactly.
that. You can't let that kill you. So, I think we've done a pretty good job at concluding that the Queen of England is actually a superpowered cosmic being sucking the life force of Britain, which is technically not real and is just a bunch of people in test tubes, and also that Jared Leto is replacing her seat on the Council of the Illuminati. I think that's a reasonable conclusion. Like, we're not jumping too many hoops like, to get to this point here. That's like,
Exactly.
people should accept that, because that's 1 + 1 = 3. Morbius, Illuminati. It even rhymes. Look at that. Look at how good. Look at it. All makes sense. All right. So be careful, guys. Remember that when you're listening to a British person, don't pay attention to what they're saying, because they're liars and fools, and they're agents of world government Illuminati. Just remember that. Keep that in mind. Truth agents.
Also, Queen Elizabeth's still alive.
Yes.
In space.
In space. All right.
I think I saw some vans over there.
Oh no.
Looking at us. So I think we gotta wrap it up.
We gotta trash this whole thing. Yeah, we gotta get out of here. That's not okay. Hold on. We gotta move. We'll be back with next episode. Don't know what it'll be. We have to let this die down for a bit. We gotta get out of here. Okay.